Imagine, if you will, a world much like our own, peaceful, quiet, ordinary, an idyllic small town where life hums along at its own gentle pace. Children's laughter rings through the air as they chase each other around the town park, their young faces alight with the joy of a carefree afternoon. Adults, with their furrowed brows and sturdy hands, go about their daily tasks, their minds occupied by the mundane intricacies of everyday life. The elderly, having earned their rest, watch the world go by from their porch swings, their hearts filled with contentment and the sweet nostalgia of days gone by. The town, a symphony of ordinary scenes and sounds, thrums with the rhythm of tranquility. Yet beneath the surface of this peaceful existence, a dark undercurrent stirs. Unseen and unheard, an ominous presence begins to take shape. But unbeknownst to them, something sinister lurks in the shadows. A storm is coming. Suddenly the calm is shattered. Panic spreads as the unthinkable happens. Imagine, if you will, a town as ordinary as your own, a place where people go about their daily lives, blissfully unaware of the storm brewing on the horizon. But then, without warning, the storm hits. The first signs are subtle, unusual behaviours, folks not quite themselves. Then the reports start trickling in. Whispers of violence, of people attacking one another. The rumours are quickly dismissed as nothing more than urban legends. But then, the reality sets in. The unthinkable has happened. A zombie outbreak, a word that once only existed in horror flicks and spooky tales, now a terrifying reality. The townsfolk's ordinary lives are abruptly turned upside down. Their peaceful existence is replaced by a horrifying nightmare, one that they cannot wake up from. The initial confusion and terror is palpable. The streets, once filled with the hustle and bustle of daily life, are now a chaotic battleground. The air, once filled with laughter and conversation, is now filled with the sounds of screams and the macabre chorus of the undead. The townsfolk muster up a defence, barricades are hastily erected, and makeshift weapons are brandished. But it's not enough. The onslaught is relentless. The undead are insatiable. The living stand no chance against the sheer number and ferocity of their assailants. One by one, the townsfolk fall. Their futile attempts at defence are just that, futile. The undead swarm over the barricades, overrunning the town. The once bustling streets are now eerily silent, save for the growls of the undead. Tales of heroism and bravery are quickly overshadowed by the grim reality. There are no heroes in this story, only survivors and the undead. In the blink of an eye, the once peaceful town is now a playground for the undead. In the aftermath, the world is unrecognizable. The town is now a ghost town, inhabited only by the walking dead. The eerie silence is deafening, broken only by the occasional moan of a zombie or the distant cry of a survivor. The once bustling streets are now deserted, filled with abandoned vehicles and boarded-up homes. The survivors, they're hidden away, tucked in the darkest corners, basements and attics. They're struggling to stay alive, living off scraps and rainwater. Each day is a battle, not just against the undead, but against the crippling fear, the uncertainty of their fate. It's a haunting existence, where the shadow of death looms over every waking moment. Every night they huddle together, whispering prayers, sharing stories, trying to remember a world that once was. They cling onto hope, a flickering flame in the overwhelming darkness. But in this new world, hope is a luxury they can't afford. The horror of a zombie apocalypse is not just the zombies themselves, it's the nightmarish reality that unfolds in the wake of their uprising. Imagine, if you will, the heart-wrenching pain of losing those you hold dear, their faces forever etched in your memory, their laughter now a haunting echo. The people who once filled your world with love and warmth, transformed into grotesque parodies of their former selves, or worse, gone forever. Then there's the isolation, the deafening silence that follows the chaos. You're alone, surrounded by nothing but the constant hum of your own thoughts and the eerie whisper of the wind. The world as you knew it, a distant memory. Every creak, every shadow, every gust of wind sends you spiraling into a pit of fear and paranoia. You're always on edge, always on the lookout. Sleep becomes a luxury, sanity a dwindling resource. And amid all this, you grapple with your own humanity. In a world gone mad, where do you draw the line between survival and barbarity? Between living and merely existing? In the face of such horrors, one must ask, is survival really a blessing or merely a prolonged curse?